This is Mark Baer. Welcome back to the Your Town television program. My guest this segment is Kris Anderson from Arts Habitat.
Hi.
And so anyway, we've been partnering this year with your artist series and been working with Charmaine, and it's been a true pleasure. I wish I would have known about your organization earlier. I know about it somewhat now, but you're going to enlighten us a little more. So let's first of all, with Arts Habitat, let's talk about the mission of it.
Well, Arts Habitat is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to establish an arts community in East Garrison, which is a part of the old Fort Ord out near Reservation Road. And it's going to be our mission to program the development that's going on out there, as well as provide studio spaces and live-work studio spaces for artists, affordable live-work studio spaces for artists.
I guess you would be the person to answer, because very often communities don't understand what the artistic community brings to a community, brings to a greater area. And how do you explain the importance of a vital arts community and affordability for a vital arts community? So how do you explain the absolute need of your mission?
Well, I don't know what the magic of it is, but I know that if you look at any community redevelopment that has ever happened organically, it's usually started with an arts community. And what will happen is that artists will move into an area where it's affordable to be, and they'll start creating art, and then they start to create a vibe or a community, and then everybody else wants to be a part of it. And we like to keep it as organic as possible. We like to let the artists do what they do and let the community grow organically.
And so what's the status now of East Garrison? How's that working out there?
East Garrison is moving along quite well. They just broke ground last month on a bunch of new models for the community out there. The community is going to be about 1,400 houses out there, and for us, we're looking at a 6 to 9 year period before we start to move into what we're going to do out there. But we're excited to see that they are breaking ground and moving forward on the construction going on out there.
Now, how's the funding, and how's your fundraising, and how can the listener out here help you?
Well, the listeners could go to our Arts in Progress series every third. Is it third or fourth? The fourth Tuesday of the month, and partake in these great programs, and then donate. I mean, we're a not-for-profit. We're a very small organization. We don't have a huge budget, and we'd like to see some more help.
So again, at the Museum of Monterey, we've kind of been now partnering with you a little bit, and
I just wanted to say we appreciate your support of Arts Habitat as well, and we love your space. Absolutely love it. It's a great space for what we do with Arts in Progress.
Well, the love has been mutual. I was, I was approached by Charmaine, and I was a little standoffish, and I did go to one of the Arts in Progress things off campus there at in another space that was not as good, and so my enjoyment of it wasn't as good. And then when we started having it, and I said, okay, let's see. So what I found, just from my own selfish point of view, is that your community has been very helpful with the museum. I've asked that your community become members, they become members. I've asked that they spread the word out for something, they spread the word. Yeah. So it's, I couldn't, and more to the point, I've been blown away by the quality of the Arts in Progress
well, thanks.
program. Just like Huntington Witherall a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a great program.
Was just marvelous. And he was supposed to actually be sitting here tonight, and he had some eye issues, and so the last minute he couldn't, but he'll be back. But Macaneva Productions
Right.
are next month. Jeffrey Beckham. Just on and on and on. The quality of it has been. It makes you proud to be part of this creative community.
Makes me proud. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that will. So this program will go. What do we have? 2-3 more months this year?
I think we go through September October on this program. We've got, of course, Terry and Steve coming up next month, and then let's see, we've got Barbara Boone Batista and Fernando Batista, commercial photographers, and then we've got some blacksmiths, ironworkers, and a jazz musician, and some sculptors and painters at the end of the month, or at the end of the season. And then we start up again in January.
So let's go back to the workspaces now. How do you pick the artists that go this? What's the demand been? How's this actually? It sounds simple and basic, but it's not a creating living spaces here in Monterey County is not simple.
Yeah, well, we've been practicing in preparation for our duties out there at East Garrison. We've had several studio spaces made available to us. One actually right here at AMP on the other side of the building here, and we rented affordable studios to artists on a monthly basis, and we also had a studio space over in Seaside. So we've had a little practice doing that. It takes some getting used to. There's plenty of artists looking for a place to work. Most artists work in their home until somebody throws them out, and then they need a bigger space, and so we'd like to be able to provide that for them. As we get closer to our space out at East Garrison, it's going to be a little bit different than what we've been doing so far, because there will be, of course, the live work spaces, and we won't actually be handling the rental of the live spaces. That'll be handled by somebody else. We'll just be doing the programming for the spaces and creating a community.
What will this bring to CSUMB? Is there, because of where it is will there be a relationship there? Or?
Yeah, we're fostering a relationship with CSUMB right now. Because of the proximity out there, it's going to be fairly close. We're hoping that as students come through the school and they graduate, students in the art program, we're hoping that they want to stay in the area and that we can provide for them a place to live and or at least have a studio and stay in the area and create art. It's a great creative community here in Monterey, and we'd like to see more people stay.
So what's the model for this? Is this an idea that came from other creative communities, or how did this? What's the genesis of this?
Yeah, we're not the first ones to do this. Of course, there's the tannery up in Santa Cruz that's done quite well. I think they're at 100% capacity right now. And various communities all across the country, Paducah, Kentucky, Marva, Texas. Marfa, Texas. All these small places that have just let art grow. And again, it's best if done organically. You can't really force it. You just got to give them the space and let them go. Yeah.
So yeah, I just saw a program on Marfa how that has brought in so, I guess Donald Judd settled there first,
right,
and things kind of worked around him, and it it reshaped the economics of that area.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, is there? How does the city work with you? Are they helpful, or can they be more helpful? Or
they certainly could be more helpful. I don't think they really get a sense of what it is that we're going to be doing out there. So I think it's going to be something that will grow as we get closer to it.
Are there politics in this? I mean, there's politics in everything. There's politics in getting up in the morning.
Right,
but,
there is, but we don't experience it at the level that we're at. We've been lucky enough to have been awarded this task at East Garrison, and we just look forward to fulfilling it.
Yeah. And what's and again, I'm more familiar with the the IP program and the quality of that is. And is everybody as astounded as I have been by the quality that has gone through there?
I hope so. I mean, I hope astounded is a great word to describe as people leave from there. Yeah, it's been a great program. I've been involved with Arts Habitat now for about 3.5 years, and I've seen some wonderful programs. And now that we have the beautiful space that we have at the Museum of Monterey, it's funny because it's actually given us sort of a panache that now there's artists that are calling us to say we want to be a part of Arts in Progress. We want to present at the Museum of Monterey. Before, I think when we were just borrowing space here and there, people they weren't so enthused, but now that they've come to see this space, everybody's very enthused about this.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'm only enthused because it wouldn't be happening, if I didn't think it was great. Because that's my job to only present something great, and I was just so knocked out. Again, Jeffrey Beckham's fabulous show.
Yeah.
It was just quite amazing how good everybody's been, and your organization is wonderful to work with, very organized. So I hope it all works.
Yeah, Charmaine does a great job.
Charmaine does a great job. How did you get involved? Tell me a little about.
Well, I have a background in building things, and I met some people that were involved with Arts Habitat, and offered my help in building walls and dividers for studios in our seaside studio space. And they twisted my arm and had me join the board, and here I am.
How big is the board?
The board is 8 or 9 people currently. It's a fairly small board. It's this very small organization.
And it's so that makes it so it's flexible enough that you guys can get things done. And,
Yep. Or not.
And so what is the? How do you guys plan it out? Is it like this for the housing? It's like a long-term plan.
Right. Yeah. We don't expect to see any of the housing out there until within 8 or 9 years from now. So, it's a long-term commitment for us.
So how what happens if suddenly it all gets very valuable and they don't?
Well, I don't think that's an option. I think it's going to be available to us. It's been gifted to us, and we're going to be the programmers out there. So I mean, if it becomes very popular, that'll be great. But at least there will be a part of East Garrison set aside for art and for live work studio space. So
well, I'm just hoping that. Again, another organization that we've worked a lot with is CSUMB, and it's I'm so impressed with what I've seen come out of there over the last years, especially their summer arts program has been again on a very, very high level that you wouldn't expect happening.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reason why it wouldn't be happening here, but it is happening here, and it's just the fact that the art community would be out there, and that's your artists, their artists, the students, that kind of thing. That's what makes these. That's what makes a creative community.
Right. Yeah. And like I said earlier, it would be nice to see that some of the students coming through CSUMB in the arts program want to stay in the area because they have a studio space available to them. So that's what we're looking to do. And I think, as we do that and, more and more people want, then we'll look for other space to do it in.
So what can people do besides money? I mean, money helps a lot, but again, you have a skill set in building. What other skill sets do you need?
Well, we always need an organizational skills. It'd be helpful if we had some volunteers on our Arts in Progress evenings to collect money and just make sure that everybody's having a good time. Right now, our board runs everything. We have we're basically a working board, so we do it all.
And are you looking for more board people? Are you looking for?
We could use a few more board members, and as we start to grow, certainly volunteers would be very helpful. Yeah, so it'd be nice to start growing a volunteer base. Yeah, right now, currently we wouldn't have a whole lot for them to do, but it'd be nice to know that we'd have a list of people that we could call on to help us out. Yeah.
So this is, long term, and how does the art community, how did you get the word out to the arts community that this is going on? I've learned about this, in bits and pieces, reading about it in the paper every once in a while. But what can the art community do?
Well, the art community just spread the word. I mean, the arts community is, like I said, it's a very organic community and a very community-based community, and they like to hang out together and talk about art. And I think Arts in Progress has grown because of that. And now that we have the great space over at the Museum of Monterey, that I think it's gonna grow an awful lot more now.
Well, I guess I should say, if you've been coming to these lectures, to continue to come to these lectures.
Absolutely.
They've been fabulous.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Help support the Museum of Monterey, because that will make this all possible.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to say that even if you're not interested in art, I think the really interesting thing about our lecture series with Arts in Progress is that it's sort of like a mini TED. Every month, we put on a very good presentation, and the people that are presenting are smart and great to listen to, and it's always a fun thing to just go and hear how somebody makes art.
So that's next week, again,
next Tuesday the 25th, yeah.
Tuesday the 25th. Be there, be square.
That's right.